All right, I see somebody's already watching, so hello to you. We're going to get started with questions in 4 minutes. There we go. Okay, cool. And yes, we will start with the questions as soon as people start asking them. So if you have any questions, then please let me know. Hopefully using this will make it a little easier to hear me as well.
We will just wait for people to show up to the stream, and then we will begin answering questions. Well, the live stream seems to be working. Well, the live stream seems to be working. Really fine. Well, the live stream seems to be working. Really fine. Well, the live stream seems to be working. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, the live stream seems to be a lot of audio issues. It's unfortunate. Okay. Let's try that, see if that does anything. Well, the live stream. Let's see. So for the audio, there's be a lot of audio issues. Unfortunate. Let's try that. Let's try that. See if that does anything. Well, the live stream. Let's see. So for the audio, there's be a lot of audio issues. Okay. Let's see if I can be heard now. Well, the live stream. Let's see. So for the audio, there's be a lot of audio issues. Okay. Let's see if I can be heard now. Well, the live stream. Let's see. So for the audio. Okay. There seems to be an issue with the audio for some reason. Hopefully this will work out. Hey Chris, how's it going? Yeah, haven't set up a live stream in a while, so this was a little difficult to get going. Sorry for the mirror in the background. Yeah, so as you can see, this is a prototype of the game. We've got all of the cards laid out and ready. For example, helping hands. You are, you can either use the top of the card for its movement, or you can use the bottom of the card to scurry. And if you use the bottom of the card, you can use multiple cards to scurry whatever the amount on the two cards is. Then you subtract movement as you move across the squares. So -1, -2, -6. So that would use up most of your movement. Oh, yeah, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Yeah, so you start on the nest, which is here, and then you're trying to get all the way to the ocean, which is at the end of the game. And you do that by laying tiles. And every turn, you draw 2 cards from the deck here. They go in your hand, and you start with 2 cards. Then you place tile, and the tiles are 2-sided, and you choose whatever orientation you would like. Then you place it coming from the nest tile, right here. Then, sorry, there's not a lot of space. Then you keep doing that until finally somebody places the ocean tile, which is at the bottom of this stack of tiles. And that's when the game ends. Well, the Kickstarter is going. It is going a little bit slowly. I actually want to put an update for it right now. And so I have. So, hopefully they'll get a bit more viewers. But so, Chris, first, how is everything going for you? And what questions do you have about the game? Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. Hope it gets better. So the game is recommended for ages about 8 to 10 and up because there are some basic math skills that you need to have. But besides that, there's no top age range. It's recommended for families, really. So, play it with your friends, play it with your family. It's a nice little light game. It lasts between 20 and 45 minutes based on how many tiles you use. With 12 tiles, it's more like 20 minutes. With 24 tiles, it's more like 45. Yeah, and in fact, part of the goal for the game is, for use kind of as a, not for teaching, but it does have, the basic math elements that, hopefully they can be used in a fun way by the teachers. So, um, you know, I've showed it to a couple different people and they've definitely loved it. So it's got a couple of different uses. Yeah, for sure. So the box that the game comes in is right here, and this isn't the final box, but this is what the box's artwork is going to look like. And then we have some information on the game on the back as well. It's the layout would definitely look something like this, although there would be a little bit more information. But you know, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The quality of the box isn't the best, but it's very pretty. So thanks to Charlie for doing that for us. Yeah, the size of the box is to make sure there's enough space for all the components, but it's not overly large. The final version of the game will actually be a little bit smaller, but also a little bit taller. It's going to be a 7.5 by 7.5 box. Yes, we're very, very happy with what Charlie has done with the game. He's done an awesome job. It's been going kind of slowly on Kickstarter. We're probably going to need to do a relaunch and rethink our goal and what we're going to have in the game. But it's definitely going to get produced. We just need to figure out how we're going to do that. I think it's a game that'll do a lot better once it's out than on Kickstarter, though. It's because it's a finished product. There's no sort of huge input that we have from Kickstarter backers. So the main thing is, just getting it out there. And, that's, I guess, not as interesting to the Kickstarter crowd. Because we always seem to be, we always come with a finished title, but we'll see. Maybe it'll get some more traction once we make a couple changes to it. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, we we definitely work hard on the packaging. Like we want to make sure that everything is laid out correctly, and the important thing is it needs to look in such a way that people want to buy it, right? And so that they understand what the game is about. So we definitely try to make sure that that's obvious. So thank you. I'm glad it's working for you. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that you posted on the Facebook page for us. I was trying to do that. I actually had to set up all this encoding software because I got a new computer and I forgot that it didn't have the open broadcasting software on there. So I had to scramble around and get everything ready for that. But hopefully the audio and video and everything is working out fine because I would like to start live streaming every once in a while more often because I think that would be useful. Um, we honestly, Comrades and Patriots, right now what we're doing is we're working on making a digital version of the game, and we have a programming intern that's helping us out with that. We haven't seen a whole lot of interest from distributors, and honestly, we don't have enough room for retail. Um, we only have something like 50 copies of the game left, so uh, not a huge amount that we can really do with that. Yeah, and honestly, direct sales are. uh, they work for us for now, right? So um, going to retail only makes sense if we're going to be selling, say 3 to 5,000 copies into retail, right? Like if it's something like, um, they're buying 100 copies from us. Uh, if they're buying 100 copies from us at 50%, then that's great. But if it's a distributor, then they're going to um, only give you something like 35 to 40%, if that. So, honestly, I'd prefer to sell those games more slowly, but direct to customers at shows and through our website than selling it all to a distributor. Now, if they're asking for 1,500, 3,000, 5,000, that would be amazing, copies of the game, then, I would be willing to sell to them at 35, 40% MSRP. But at the unit prices that we're talking about now, I would essentially just be losing money from going into distribution. So, yeah, it's a lot more work, and you're selling a lot fewer games, but the margin on those games is a lot better. So essentially, you need to sort of figure out at what time are you going to switch, right? Uh, when when does it make sense to you to go from the direct sales model at selling 1,000, 2,000 units per title to selling 5,000 to 10,000 units? And again, that would be amazing if you can do that. But selling 1,000 yourself and then putting the rest into distribution. Um, and each company kind of manages that its own way, right? A lot of companies like Cards Against Humanity, I forget their company name, but they did direct sales for a very long time before they did Amazon and all that stuff. So, well, not a very long time, but they sold a lot of copies directly. So they set themselves up for success that way. Yeah, so our manufacturer for Sea Turtle Scurry is Bang Wee Games, BANGWHEE. I'll type that in for you. Uh, they are based in China, and Bing has really great communication, and he gets back to me on time and everything. So he's been great to work with. His English skills are great, and their prices are very nice. So they are good to work with. Um, you know, of course, we need to have the money to send to them so they can make the game. But uh, besides that, I can't say what they're like during the manufacturing process because we're not at that stage right now. But based on our communication so far, I would say that uh, you know I'd say he's definitely one of the people you want to look at. We asked for quotes from What's Games, Bang Wee, and Wingo, and Bang Wee answered a lot faster than the other ones, and their pricing and everything made a lot more sense for us than the other companies. Not to say that we won't use anybody else, but at least for this game, they had the best offer. Although, uh, you don't have to take a company's first offer, especially if you shop. Sorry, the stream just paused for a second. But yes, if you. Oh, we have another viewer. Hello. But yes, if you are. You want to be looking at multiple companies. You don't want to just go with one because this gives you more room to negotiate. you know, it's important to know how to negotiate when you're trying to figure out who has the best pricing and the best customer service and the best quality, right? That's kind of the three things you're looking for in a game. Yeah, as to the stuck with a whole bunch of copies, yeah, unfortunately some people do have that, but there's different services that help you out with that. So it can work out. Like there's a few companies that will take games that essentially at cost to produce and get them out of your hands, and the game box people. I know Bento Box, and there's a few more that do that too. So there's ways to offload the 1,000 copies that you have sitting around in your garage. Though obviously that's not where you want to be at all. You want to sell out and either reprint or move on to your next title. So the Kickstarter page, yeah, the Kickstarter page definitely took some time to set up, multiple hours. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I spent probably well, it depends, right? Because I spent a lot of time figuring out what the costs of everything would be. So that was part of setting up the page. But if we're talking about physically writing what's on the page and putting that up there, then I would say maybe, yeah, 4 or 5 hours for me, and probably 4 or 5 hours from Charlie as well to make all the graphics and everything. So, yeah, we put a fair bit of effort into it. Again, not as much response as I was expecting, to be quite honest. Uh, I thought that we would, maybe not easily, but I thought that we would fund, in the last 3 days. I thought we'd be at least above uh, 3,500 by this point, but it looks like we're halfway there, and it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get the rest of it. But you know, we'll see. What's nice is we have someone willing to throw in $1,000 if we reach the $4,000 mark. So we're actually looking for 1,650 more dollars from backers, as opposed to the full 5,000. So that's 40 something backers at the $40 level, which you know isn't going to be easy to get in the last few days, but we're definitely going to try. So we'll see how it goes. What's interesting actually is we had a couple of backers for a lot more than the game, who are essentially just investing in the game and really believe in what we're trying to do with it. Um, so we might actually look at doing something besides just a Kickstarter for getting the game funded. We might what we might do is we might have a much lower goal for the Kickstarter, so that people who want to get the game on Kickstarter can do so. But then we will also have our own pre-order system and manufacture the game that way. Because honestly, the reason the goal is $5,000 is because it was based around 108 backers at $40 with shipping. if we take out the shipping costs, then our costs go down by, over $1,000. So it becomes a lot easier to produce the game, and then we just pre-sell and then sell it through our website. Yeah, so in terms of the slow interest, I believe that it's a couple of factors. The first is that the game is done, so there isn't as much audience participation. We're not saying, oh, help us make these new cards or do all these other random things. It's a finished product, and we have stretch goals for improving the quality, but maybe we should have made them a little more explicit or even included them as part of the game from the get-go. The other thing is, yes, I think that the summer doldrums is part of what is happening here. Unfortunately, that is a factor. The summer months are definitely still hard to do a Kickstarter in. Each year is different, but it's definitely important to see what happens. But unfortunately, it seems that this is a trend that's continued for a few years now. The summer is a bad time to do a Kickstarter. Oh well, we learned our lesson, I guess. Yeah, so the Games Pack pledge, we haven't gotten a single backer for, so we have it there, but it hasn't actually been successful, unfortunately. So again, go figure. What has been successful is our local option. That has definitely been successful. Because we have a lot of local people that backed us for a copy of the game. Um, but yes, I think we're going to be closing down the stream at 7:50. Um, so if you have any more questions for me, feel free. Let me know, and I appreciate you tuning in. But we will probably be closing down the stream pretty soon after that. Yes, and I'm sure that that saved Mark Twain on shipping as well. Yeah, it's definitely. I'm sure people appreciate the personal touch, and it's cheaper for us. And essentially, we're going to have a couple of little sea turtle parties here for backers. That's the idea. Um, we'll see if it happens, but it would definitely be something. Sorry, something kind of fun to do. Yep. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it, and I wish you the best of luck as well. Cool, cool. Yeah, good luck with everything, and I will go ahead and peace out then. Thanks for stopping by.